The Toledo Walleye wrapped up a hectic Thursday through Saturday game slate with a couple of victories. The voice of the fish stopped by the BCSN studios earlier today to recap the action with our Claire Dow.
Thank you, Danny. As you mentioned, the voice of the Toledo Walleye, Matt Melzak, joining us in studio. Matt, you guys had a busy weekend. We were just talking. It's that time of year where you're kind of darting all over. An interesting one, though, Thursday in Cincinnati, Friday in Fort Wayne, and then Saturday back in Cincinnati.
Yeah, it really has been. And you start hitting this point of the year and just the way the schedule has fallen for Toledo. I mean, they're just behind everybody else in games played, which means the season's going to end April 5th no matter what. That's the last day. So you got to get all those games in at some point, and now it's just going to become this sprint to the finish of 3-3s, 4-5s, just nonstop, multiple games, shorter practices, maybe not even practice time. It's going to be a lot of games in a short amount of time for the Toledo Walleye the rest of the way. I mean, we had Sunday off this week. There's not another Sunday off on a schedule the rest of the way. So you're going to play an awful lot of hockey going forward for the Toledo Walleye.
Now, last week, Thursday, was a tough loss in Cincy, just leading and then kind of falling behind in the third, but they recovered well on Friday in Fort Wayne and then pulled out a winner in Cincinnati on Sunday, Saturday.
They really did, yeah, because you're used to it just like me, talking about, a weekend's a weekend. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday was kind of a different look, and I know they were not happy at all. Nobody in the locker room, the coaching staff, nobody was happy about that loss on Thursday night because you had a 2-1 lead in the third period. And you made a couple of mistakes, which Cincinnati, very good team, they're going to capitalize on them. They did, and you lose that game. So there was certainly a little bit of we need to get back to the good side of things. On Friday, they did that against Fort Wayne and really made that game not a contest in the second period. I mean, you're up 4-0. You basically have it on cruise control in the third period, which, was just, hey, let's get to the red line, let's get pucks deep, and let's just make them work the whole length of the ice. They did get a power play goal on Billy Christopoulos, who had only 45 saves in the game, just a casual 45. And it kind of felt that way because when you look back on the game, sometimes, you try to describe it, and even thinking back to my broadcast of it, there wasn't that many right up in front of the net. I mean, that's how good Toledo was defensively, and it's exactly what Dan said to me on Saturday in the pregame interview in Cincinnati. He was like, you know what? We did a great job of keeping them to the outside. The scoring chances in the game were very even. They were, maybe even a 2 in favor of Toledo instead of, being in favor of Fort Wayne. Just the shot total was so huge. And, it's Fort Wayne just sending everything. But, you throw stuff from the red line in and it hits the goalie, it could go in a net, it counts as a shot. So you rack up a lot of shots. Cincinnati did the same thing on Saturday. Toledo did a great job just with their umbrella. They kept everything to the outside. Billy Christopoulos is going to make those saves. We've seen that. He's been downright fantastic. 85 saves this weekend. What can you say?
Getting news today that Charles Wadas 2 going up to Grand Rapids. We've talked about it quite a bit. This is what happens. It's a development league. How does that affect the team going forward?
Well, right now, I mean, it's going to put them in a bind. I know Brandon Anselmini's getting close to getting back on the ice. It'll be a question mark for him as soon as he can get ready to go. Blake Hillman's obviously still in Stockton. He's played already 5 games there for the Heat, so who knows what's going to happen with him. So right now, Toledo, Mike Moffitt, not sure on his injury situation yet, whether he can go. He got hurt in a game on Saturday with a hand injury, so I don't know what his status is yet on that. So, I mean, there's still some possibilities that this could get kind of crazy here going forward in the next short little term here. But Toledo does have right now on the roster, counting Mike Moffitt, they have 60. So they should be okay going forward. It's just his status will be the question mark going into Wednesday at Brampton.